Jobs and careers and graphic design in general has changed so much over the past, I would say, 10 years. You can't just learn everything to do with design nowadays. You can't just spend all your time trying to find what you want to learn so you can have all of this information to put into your projects. It's now all about niching, but there's a question that's on the mind of all people in the design community, which is niching actually good? Too niche or not too niche? So in this video, I'm actually going to be directing this towards anyone in the creative industry or in a freelance position industry or an industry that is constantly growing. This video is brought to you by FreshBooks. Click the link down below to get 30 days completely free just to test it out. I'm Paterson. I'm a hand lettering artist, logo designer, and author, and I also make YouTube videos centered around logo design as that is my niche. When normal people ask me what I do, I always tell them that I'm a logo designer, and then they refer to me as a graphic designer from then on. A lot of people tend to think that I just do graphic design, which is true. I do a lot of graphic design, but that's not a service that I highly offer to clientele that I brand. For me personally, working in our company, we have a niche of brand identity. And also we do media stuff like this with YouTube videos, but our main niche is brand identity, strategizing, and also basically getting companies to be branded. So what is a niche? Well, a niche is basically working in one sector of an industry. It's a skill or a talent or something that you can do in that industry that only you will do. It's about limiting all the possibilities in a genre to just one. You've got a very niche way of looking at it. You can sort of see my arm moving here. The way that I like to see it is graphic design or the creative industry in general has this wide road. And when you put it down to graphic design, you've limited it and categorized it to the communication of design. It's not art, it's more design. And in graphic design, there is so much inside of there that you can do that people would class as graphic design, that there's subcategories. So when you niche down again, so for me, it's logo design, buff, I've got this sort of road now that I'm going down, and anything else over here or over there, I don't really touch and I don't really do. The opposite of niching, which in this video I'm going to call generalizing, is where you do the exact opposite of that, but you diversify, and I'm going to use that word carefully, you diversify by generalizing the services that you provide. So for instance, if you're a graphic designer, maybe you do logo design, brand strategy, web design, you're a 3D animator, games developer, UX designer, you can do it all. You're a jack of all trades. People are talking more about niching, and a lot of teachers are actually teaching on this as well. People on Instagram are putting these weird carousels out on Instagram talking about niching. And can I just say, why is everyone teaching on Instagram now? This platform has changed so much. I think people are only teaching on there because they want subscribers or followers or whatever they're called. Speaking of which, go and follow me down below. I sometimes put nuggets of information in there, but most of the time it's just to encourage you daily. So people are talking about niching more and more and the benefits of it, but there is a split in the community, and I must say it's not a huge one, but it's something that you need to know, which is a lot of designers, especially young ones who are starting out in the industry, don't really know how to niche or why they should niche, because in common sense terms, niching is actually limiting the work that you are offered. That is basically what it is. So I'm going to give you some advantages and disadvantages of niching. Let's start off with the disadvantages. So a disadvantage of niching is that you are limiting the work that you are offered that you can work on. So you're limiting potential work. That means limiting money. Another disadvantage, but more of a mindset, is the more you can do, the more you get paid. This mindset actually makes sense to some things. If you can offer or provide more services than you already do in different genres, maybe then a client who wanted a logo would probably want an app designing. I'll get onto that in a couple of minutes about how to do that without generalizing. Another disadvantage of niching is that you might not get paid well because there's not enough people in your niche who want the work. Maybe someone really likes the other side of your work and they want to pay you to do it, but you are niching down on this one side of whatever you're trying to do. So those are some of the disadvantages. Now, let me clear up some misconceptions about those disadvantages and give you the advantages that I personally have found, and not just me, but so many people in the design industry have found. Niching down can pay you more. Simple word in there, can. It can pay you more than generalizing, and this trick is speciality. For me, I was a graphic designer teaching on YouTube anything that I learned in Adobe Illustrator, and it sort of evolved into this platform where I talk to you guys about design, creativity, and a lot of other things. But what I slowly started to do was start to niche down into one sector, and that was one that I really enjoyed doing, which was logo design. From there, I niched down even further into logo type design. Can you see what I'm doing? Then I started teaching specifically about logo type design for a while on YouTube until I branched out. I didn't generalize, I branched to another idea of brand strategy and identity. Now, when I was being a general graphic designer, I did not get any projects. Really, I got a few. I did some posters, did some, advertising things for small companies. And this was like years ago, a long time ago. But I didn't really get any logo design clients. And that is down to the fact that I didn't market myself as a logo designer. I just marketed myself as a plain old graphic designer. I could do anything. And I tell you what, I didn't get paid as much. Reason being, and this is the big one, when you niche down, that means that you can focus more on what you're good at. It means that you can focus more on that niche. For me, that was logo design and hand lettering and logo type design. So that little sector. When you do that, you are able to charge a premium for what you do, because not only do you just work on that, but chances are you're going to be slightly better than a lot of other people in that area. If you had a client who's looking for a logo and you had, someone like Aaron Draplin, or you had someone like a general jack of all trades graphic designer, who are they going to pick? If they know about Aaron, they know that he is an incredible logo designer. If they know about this other dude who does graphic design, maybe he's done some really cool everything, but clients are generally more going to trust Aaron because Aaron has been working on logos for years. He's got the experience, and that is what he does. He works on logos. And the same goes for me. When I'm working with clients, it's because they like my logo design process. They trust me as a designer to create them the image that they need for the face of their company. Again, there's going to be disadvantages, especially when you start out. For me, I do a lot of hand lettering. I am a hand lettering artist. I do love it. And it ties so closely to logo type design. It's more of my creative expression with a more abstract look into logo design in my hand lettering, which is logo design is objective, hand lettering is kind of subjective nowadays. But it's going to be very hard for anyone, especially when they're starting in the design industry, to fully understand how they can niche. And I'm going to give you some tips. Number one, you have to find your passion. If you are passionate about a certain thing in design, such as me, I'm utterly in love with logo type design. I love icons as well, don't get me wrong, but I do love logo type design. There's something about typography that I love. How do you find your passion if you don't have one? Well, simply work on the projects that you think will be fun, and if they are fun, carry on working on those similar projects. And if you work on a lot of things, maybe it's good to take note and make a database in something like Notion as to your ideas of what you work on most. What do you find yourself falling back to as a passion project? For me, this was always creating brand identities, and I would just find a fake company in my head, make one up, and then just create a logo for them and do everything like that. That was really fun. That's where I found my passion for it. A question that you can use to find your passion is, can you work on this project for a long time? Can you work on these again, and again? Can you see yourself doing that? The second question I want you to ask, does it pay well? And there's 4 sub questions in there. And there are 4 sub questions inside of whether it pays well, which is this. 1, can you monetize it? Can you make a YouTube channel? Can you do a blog? Can you teach it? 2, can you invest time into it? So can you invest time into your niche or into that thing that you want to be your niche? 3, how much do you need to live on right now? I mean, money-wise. Do you need a lot of money where you live? Or do you not need that much? Are you living with your parents? Do you have a house? Do you have a family? Do you have responsibilities and bills to pay? And 4, is it worth the effort? Is it actually the best use of your effort to niche down on that subject? To find your niche, you've got to try many things at first, and one thing will pop out at you. So try lots of different things. And obviously you guys probably know my story by now if you've been subscribed. If not, go and check out some of the other videos. I basically worked from my parents' house and and all the way out. I'm 26 now. We own a company and a house and everything else. You know, we've done pretty well for what we want to do. But that didn't just happen overnight. And the problem is, a lot of people think that, you know, when you niche down and you get good in that specific area, when people think of my name, they kind of think of, you know, either a designer on YouTube or a logo designer. How does that happen? Well, it's through lots of little things that I did every day. So I used to work on design every day and not get paid for it because I didn't go to uni, I didn't do anything else. But I found my passion in logo design. So I carried on working on it. I carried on getting subjective and objective feedback from people, getting it critiqued, working on improving my brain and the way that I see design and perceive design. So work day in, day out, no matter how small or big it is. Obviously take time off when you need it. Don't pressure yourself too much, but make sure it's a huge focus and a huge time slot in your day to do something related to your niche. So the question is, should you niche down? Well, the answer to that question is up to you. I think it doesn't matter all the time. This video is for, even if it's for someone else or someone that you know, send it to them, because I think the questions that I've given you here have helped me a lot, and I think they'll help you as well. I just want to give a huge shout out to the sponsor of this video, FreshBooks. FreshBooks is an online accounting system where you can file up all your paperwork from your invoicing to your expenses for your tax return, or send invoices to clients, which is the best thing. So if you're a designer and you're needing to send invoices, FreshBooks is the best for you. It makes it so simple. And I'm talking specifically to any freelancers out there. My favorite feature of FreshBooks is being able to message the client who I'm invoicing directly inside of FreshBooks, which gives you this whole new communication window into the client. But not only that, when you send an invoice, you can see, it will let you know when the client has seen, like physically seen that invoice. It's magic. If you'd like to try FreshBooks out for completely free, and I mean completely free, risk-free, it's 30 days. You can click the link down below in the description, test it out on a client, test it out on yourself, see how it feels. It is really good. And if you guys really enjoyed this video and you want to see more content like this one, press that red subscribe button. I upload a couple of times during the week. It's really good to see you here. Let me know how you're doing in the comments below. And also, as always, put your opinions of what I've said today down below and any struggles that you're facing with design. Thanks for watching. See you later. Goodbye.